title of this story is My Wife is My Secret Landlady That I Pay House Rent To. The worst thing that can happen in a marriage is when the wife or the husband fail to understand that love is proven when trouble comes and not when everything is going well. Samuel just got married to Eva and here they are inspecting their new house. Eva was the person that found the house and has packed in some of their properties before bringing her busy husband to the house. It was a happy moment between the two lovebirds as they loved the house. After packing into the flat, Eva was happy they did, but her husband Samuel was not at rest. He had something bothering him. When Eva discovered that her husband was not looking bright, she went to meet him. She touched him and asked him what the problem was. He told her that he has 24 hours to pay the house rent. The problem was that the business he has been waiting for to clear has been delaying. The next day, as they were preparing to go out, someone knocked at the door and Samuel went to see the person. He went to the door and found a letter dropped for him on the ground. He picked up the paper, looked outside but found nobody. The person must have dropped the paper and left immediately. Samuel closed the door and went back to the bedroom. The wife was waiting. He came in and sat beside her. His mood changed immediately that the wife noticed it. She collected the paper in his hand and went through it. Mr. Samuel's spirit went down because he is this kind of person that does not like owing anybody. He doesn't go for what he cannot afford until he has the money to pay for it. His wife lured him into accepting to pack into a house he has not paid for, with the hope that the husband's awaiting business deal will clear the bill when it clicks. Eva started consoling her husband and suggested something to him. She told him that since the house agent has started disturbing, that they should sell one of his land to clear the bill and buy another one once the business comes up. At first, it was difficult for Samuel, but because of the shame of being disturbed by the agent, he accepted to sell the land. He took his wife to the land to show her the land boundary. The wife suggested a buyer. She told him that she has a buyer that can pay good money for the land. The husband accepted. The land was sold and the house rent was also paid. The devil struck again. The estate electricity transformer blew and the power went off. This requires urgent attention and the estate occupants have to do something immediately because waiting for the power distribution company will take weeks. Samuel thought it was Ebne electricity fault. He went to touch the bulbs but the light did not come on. When they were about to pray, someone knocked at the door and he went to see the person. That was a bill for the replacement of the transformer. The letter reads that following the previous meeting that the transformer will be replaced if again it got blown after the last repair. That showed that the transformer has been having issue before now and Samuel was not aware and was not told before packing in. He is just being aware of the decision taken during the last meeting. Samuel was tired of the whole thing. Eva, his wife, read the letter and suggested that they sell their car to pay for the transformer since the balance from the land money has been spent on wife's relatives and husband's relatives and on few other things. That was very difficult for Samuel to do, but the wife kept persuading him to avoid embarrassment from the estate management. They were standing by their car waiting for the buyer. Samuel was not happy with the whole idea of selling his only car to pay for his bill, but his wife Eva was persuading him. 1 year after, things became very difficult for Samuel. He was making calls to know what was holding the business he invested in from coming through. His calls were not going through and he was practically fighting with the phone. His wife was by his side, not knowing the reason he was upset. After some time, she dropped the phone and picked up a paper sent to him from the house agent for the renewal of his house rent. He threw it away at the same time. His wife Eva was not comfortable with his actions. She stopped what she was doing and moved to him to find out what the problem was. She picked up the paper and it was a notice of house rent renewal. There is something not clear about his wife that he was noticing but could not say exactly what that is. To him, she should be disturbed and worried and don't have to persuade him to sell off his properties to pay his bills in the house. She should be supportive financially no matter how little, but she has refused to. Mr. Samuel has been restless recently because of his present condition, because of his financial instability. Nothing cheers him up again. He was in the bedroom thinking of what to do to pay his house rent that is due. Eva, his wife, came into the bedroom looking into a paper and moved towards him to ask him some questions. She bent close to him to talk to him, possibly cheer him up. She started by telling him that anyone destined to be great must face challenges in life. She said that the person's ability to face those fears determines his success in life. She said that one of the proofs that he will be great in life is the challenges facing him right now. She told him to stand strong and don't allow these things to bring him down, and that she believed in him. The following week, a letter of notice came to him telling him that a long-awaited business he invested in has been banned in the country, that anyone found in that line of business will be prosecuted according to the law. That was the beginning of his nightmare. Mr. Samuel has not been drinking, but the news made him to seek for bottle. His his wife Eva was shocked to see him with a bottle of drink and asked him why and when did he start drinking. Samuel needed to erase the memory of that bad news and wish he could turn back the hand of time to make amends, but it was already too late. The wife has not known what happened until she picked up the letter and went through it. She knew about the business and how lucrative it used to be, but the interest of the government in the business to the point of banning it in the country was something she could not explain. She was shocked too, and she knew what such news could do to a man. She went to console her husband and held him close. She was whispering to him that he should not give up, and at this point his blessings are very close. She said that whenever things get to a point like this, that the next thing that will follow is blessing. She told him to prepare for Thanksgiving, that his blessings are near. The following day, Mr. Samuel prepared to go and look for a job. He was preparing, but his wife was less concerned, and that was how it has been. She can only motivate him with words, but no support of any other kind, even when she has something to help him with. She has a belief about marriage, which has been the way she follows in her marriage. We will find out her belief later. Mr. Samuel was rejected simply because he has a big qualification. The opening available in the company was for OND holders, that is ordinary national diploma. He was not happy because working with such low certificate will not earn him good salary to take care of his home. He went home depressed and seriously thinking of what to do. When he got home, it seemed he has no option than to go for that job while looking around for a better one. He started searching for his OND certificate. This is a search that opened a top secret in that house. And when this was going on, Eva, his wife, was not home. Mr. Samuel was searching everywhere but has forgotten where he kept his OND certificate. It was not among other of his certificates. After some moments of searching, he decided to pause for a while so that his tension will calm down, because at that moment he was highly troubled. He felt like returning to that office to present his certificate and to start work immediately. The moment he put his hand on top of the wardrobe, he felt something. He thought the certificate he was looking for was kept there. He quickly brought a seat and climbed in order to bring out the paper he touched. When he opened the letter, he broke down because he found out that his wife Eva was the owner of the house they were living in. She was the landlady of the house in the estate. She bought a house in that estate. The house rent goes to the company managing the house for her and then to her personal bank account. He also found out that his wife was the person that bought the land he sold to pay the house rent. The house rent which was still paid to his wife Eva. Eva also was the buyer of her husband's car, which she persuaded him to sell in order to raise money for the electricity transformer bill. Don't forget that Eva has her own perspective about marriage, which guides her decision in her marriage. We will find out what Eva thinks about marriage in the part 2 of this story next Friday. But please, what do you advise Mr. Samuel to do at this critical point? Please share this video and drop your comment on the comment section, and see you next Friday.